Hello, everybody out there. This is Bob or Jones from One Stop Mouse coming to you on this Sunday night, September 27th. And we are going to do a brief live stream just of news and updates that are going on at Walt Disney World. No big, long, prolonged thing, but just things that people should know about. And also, there are a few implications with things here and there. So if you stop into the chat, you can certainly turn this into a Q&A and ask me what you will. Welcome into the stream, Disinfinity. Good buddy of mine. Please check out his channel and subscribe to him. He is a very interesting young man. And by the way, if you would, please subscribe to One Stop Mouse. And hit that notification bell icon, if you would, please, so that you could be made aware of future streams and videos that we do. Like this one is a little impromptu. I just planned it like 2 hours ago and put it out there. So you really wouldn't know about this unless you were notified. Mickey's Ears. Hey, Bob. Hey, Disinfinity. Hey, Mickey's Ears. How are you? Thanks for stopping in. So anyhow, the biggest news right now with us down here in Florida, I'm a local, half an hour outside of the parks, is that 2 days ago, Diz Ears, hey, Mickey's Ears, One Stop and Disinfinity, hey, Diz Ears, thank you very much. Thanks for stopping in. 2 days ago, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis made a controversial decision to take the state of Florida from stage 3 COVID precautions, where we've been for a few months. Well, actually, I guess we've been there since April, beginning of April, to stage 2. This is 2 days ago, which means that all the bars and restaurants in the state of Florida now are opened up to 100% capacity. You can have rules if you want in-house in your establishment, in your theme park or whatever, for how you want to handle it. But as far as the state is concerned, all bars and restaurants and theme parks can be open now, according to the governor, to 100% capacity. And as a matter of fact, he's specifically encouraging Walt Disney World, he specifically said this, to open up to 100% capacity. He said they've been doing a good job, and he said he was already encouraging them for a while to open up to 75% capacity, even though they supposedly were at 30% capacity. And now he's saying, go ahead, Walt Disney World, open up to 100% capacity. Careful as always, if you've noticed, Walt Disney World has been real cautious about all this stuff, about how fast they move on things. They were slower to reopen than the other theme parks down here. They were a month slower to reopen than Universal or SeaWorld or any of the others. Basically, their statement to Governor DeSantis trying to push them into 100% opening again, as if COVID never existed, is that their spokespeople say that we are making no plans for any change. Wearing a face covering is still required in Walt Disney World, and Walt Disney World will continue to social distance and sanitize as we have been. They also say that they are studying the situation to see what all this means. Weekend attendance as of late, if you've either been down here or taken a look at some of the streams, the Saturday, Sunday attendance has gone up as of late. The weekday attendance, not as much. I don't know what to think about that. It is unknown what the park capacities are at this time. Disney doesn't really tell you what it has been, if they've increased it from 30. So I don't really know. You don't really know what it is right at this minute. Isabel, what did I miss? Just logged in. Hey, Disfinity, I think Disney will stay on the safe side and only increase capacity a little bit, not to 100% yet. Yes. Isabel, I was basically just reviewing what you had texted me about, that we have gone from, the governor just brought us from stage 2 COVID precautions to stage 3, which basically means all the bars and restaurants and businesses can have 100% capacity. If they want to tell people they have to wear masks or do whatever procedures they want to do, that's all up to them. But as far as the government in Florida is concerned, everything's back to normal again. And they're telling Walt Disney World they're encouraging them to go to 100% capacity. Boom. And Walt Disney World is being cautious, as they were, about reopening and everything. And they basically are only saying, yeah, we're going to have to look at this. And it's still required to have a mask if you come into the park. And we're still going to continue sanitizing and social distancing just as we have. Kevin Smith, hey, how are you? Welcome into the stream. Sorry, into the screen too, literally. So yeah, it should be interesting to see what happens with that, if we're supposedly back to normal or not. Mouse Talk, good evening, everyone. Hey, Mouse Talk, how are you? Yeah, Mouse Talk, I was just letting everybody in on what you and I and all the locals here know about going from stage 2 to stage 3 to stage 2 COVID precautions because of what the governor said. And the governor is trying to encourage Walt Disney World to go to 100% capacity. He says he was trying to push Walt Disney World to go to 75% capacity, and they didn't want to do that, but it's because Disney is safe. Mouse Talk, Disney World cannot increase capacity and still social distance correctly. Almost impossible. Yeah, exactly. I know. I totally agree. Disinfinity, hey Walt. Yeah, so what do you guys think out there that have been in the parks or have looked at the live streams? I will be live streaming tomorrow from Animal Kingdom from 1 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time to 5 o'clock when they close, and you can take a look for yourself at how crowded it is. Walt, you missed it, but I was basically just sort of summarizing that the capacity has been increasing, most especially on the weekends, not so much on the weekdays. But, the other thing, too, is we don't really know. Right now, we only know that the governor says he was pushing previously for Disney World to go up to 75%. On and off, Disney was saying they were at like 30%. We don't really know where they are with the capacity now. We don't know, but they've always been like that. Disney has always been very hush-hush, close to the vest about numbers and capacities, even before the whole COVID situation. So this isn't really surprising. My bet is that Disney will be safe, though. Just look at how they've approached everything, including the reopenings. So Walt Disney, number 2 on the list of news items, Walt Disney World released new park hours for the first few weeks of December. For the first week of December. It definitely seems like more people are in the parks. Yeah, Isabel, I think it's the wrong idea. Yep, I agree. Mouse Talk, I was in the parks every day this week. Yeah, you were, Walt. And the parks were really, really packed. Not sure what number Disney is allowing in, but seems like more. But what do I know? LOL. No, I totally agree. Prince Charming Dev was saying the same thing. He was really noticing this week that they were really packing them in. So a lot of people are questioning, has that capacity gone up from whatever it was previously? So, Walt, it was packed every day this week, not just weekends as opposed to weekdays. Walt Disney World released new park hours for the first week of December, the 1st through the 5th. So the first week, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th of December, they're going to have Magic Kingdom open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., Epcot from noon to 8 p.m., Hollywood Studios 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Animal Kingdom 9 to 5. That's just the first week of December. They're elongating the hours as we get further into the holiday season. I would, if I were you, keep watching those things because, as I joke, by the time I finish doing this little news thing, things will have changed in some way. Things change so much that there are videos I've been editing that I still haven't put out because things keep changing. Kevin Smith, are you friends with Nick? Yes, Kevin Smith, are you friends with Nick? Kevin, you mean Nick from, he's got such a great channel. The Brit Nick with, is it, I can't remember. He's got great graphics and everything, and he does the news all the time. I am not friends with Nick, but Nick actually got behind me when I was streaming at the opening of Rise of the Resistance. And I talked to him for just a minute. Mouse Talk, yes, every day this week seemed very crowded, not just the weekends. Weekends were worse for sure, though. Yeah, I also heard something, though, about this week. I don't know, did you hear this, Walt? There was something about Georgia going on, something about Georgia graduations or Georgia something. Did you hear that, Walt? Disinfinity, Epcot and Magic Kingdom have been packed the past few days. Yeah. I've noticed that. I'm hoping that Animal Kingdom is not so packed, and maybe I'll Magical News Live. Yeah, Magical News Live. No, I'm not friends with them. I'm aware of them, but I am a fan of his. Very cool channel. If you haven't checked out Magical News Live, go ahead and check it out. The same with Walt's channel, Mouse Talk, Disinfinity. Both very, very good channels. I owe it to both of those. Both Young Disinfinity and Mouse Talk for encouraging me to get on top of my channel. So let's see how I stream tomorrow. It should be interesting. Okay, so number 3 on the news list. I love the tours that they have at Walt Disney World. They have private VIP tours where if me and Mouse Talk and his family and Disinfinity, we had like a group and we wanted a private VIP tour, you pay a certain amount. You can look it up and see what it is. It's like $400 and something to $700 and something an hour. And just our private group gets driven around wherever we want to go. And we do whatever we want to do with the private tour guide for the day. Now, you can have up to 10 people, and you don't have to wait on any lines for anything. So actually, although it sounds really luxurious and expensive, when you break it up into all of those people and with what Disney costs per hour and travel and everything else, it actually is not a bad idea. But I'm not talking about those. Those are available now, and obviously, because of social distancing things, that's okay. But the standard VIP tours, like ones that you might be aware of, the Wild Africa Trek, where you kind of get a special closer with the animals over rope bridges and stuff like that thing at in the safari area, or through Magic Kingdom, you get a behind the scenes tour called Keys to the Kingdom. Those standard VIP tours, not the private ones, the standard ones where you put together with a group of other people, like 20 people, those still are not available. Those may be available if some of these other things change that the governor wants to change in the park, but not yet. So if the parks will be busier, they should bring the fireworks now. I don't know. It should be very interesting. Isabel, you and I know how cautious and safe Disney is. If you guys out there know anybody, Isabel is a cast member. You could ask her. When they teach the cast member stuff, one of the very first thing, the most important thing that they teach cast members to be aware of is safety. Safety first before anything. So believe me, when Disney's looking at the situation about safety, yeah, they have to sort of measure things because they're trying to get back a lot of money that they've lost and recoup and get things moving towards the 50th anniversary of next year and all, but still, safety is first, and I believe that. The Disney Kid, hey, it's Isabel's son. Yes, she told me. You've only been around for a month. You've got 40 subs. Very good. Hey, guys, we have Isabel's son, who is a cast member, who has a brand new channel called The Disney Kid. Check out that channel. Disinfinity, do you know Epcot was actually testing fireworks for Harmonious the other day? I heard that, and actually, from where I live, you can actually see Magic Kingdom fireworks when they do them. Over the tip tops of my trees in my backyard, and you can hear them far off. And I think that they've been doing some sort of testing for that too. That's not official. That's just kind of undercover Bob saying that right now. But I was telling Walt at Mouse Talk that just the other day. That's very interesting. That makes sense that they would be. Thanks for that, Disinfinity. Let's see. Walt Disney World just converted the 2021 Disney World Marathon and the 2021 Half Princess Marathons, both of them, to virtual events, which I don't quite get. I mean, I get some of the details that you still win these, you know, these medals around your neck and everything, but Walt Disney World basically is citing, and this makes sense, that there are too many unique challenges in hosting a road race through the parks in this environment. Actually, I think over the years, as the parks have gotten crowded and more complicated, that running ever increasing in size road races that have to shut things down. Actually, one year, I swear, I've been going to Disney World for years and I got lost because they rerouted the road so much and my GPS was like, what? But anyhow, the Half Princess Marathon in 2021 and the Disney World Marathon of 2021 have been changed into virtual events because it's too much to run these races through the parks. I'm not sure what a virtual marathon is, like I said, so please check with Walt Disney World for more information. I will say that I've noticed that the April 2021 Star Wars Rival Run, which is pretty cool, is still on the Disney World schedule, though. So, Kevin, Disinfinity, they kind of look like Epcot Forever After fireworks. Wouldn't that be cool if that came back? Yes, Kevin Smith, maybe. I just heard that it was for Harmonious, as it would have been starting now if things were normal. Thanks, guys, for that, about the fireworks experimentation. Once again, if you're just joining us now for today's WDW News, that you are watching One Stop Mouse, and I'm Bob, or Jones, as my nickname goes. I wonder why. Please subscribe to One Stop Mouse. Like us if you would, hit that like button and hit the notification bell icon to stay informed of future streams and videos. Sometimes things just come up like this at the last minute, and 2 hours ago I say, hey, I'm gonna throw this stuff out there. Another thing that just happened is the Disney's Grand Floridian Resort is now officially open to everybody. Previously, it was just open to DVC, Disney Vacation Club members who were staying in the Grand Floridian villas because the NBA players were staying in the rest of the resort, but now it's open to everyone. It's not hosting the NBA anymore, and it's not just open to DVC members. Another thing that's come up is the walkway. I don't know if any of you who've been there lately, they're building a walkway so that you can walk directly from the now open to everybody Grand Floridian Resort straight to the Animal Kingdom. So this walkway is near complete. They were just pouring the rest of the concrete in a section that wasn't complete, and they've got that sort of cordoned off, and they have a temperature screening tent a little further down. So you fans of the Grand Floridian, or people who I hope someday soon will, maybe if you have to go over there for a restaurant, you're going to a 1900 Park Fair or a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique in the Grand Floridian from the Magic Kingdom, you can walk straight back and forth. So that should be happening pretty soon. This Infinity definitely has a great channel with awesome live streams. Let's see. All right, beginning tomorrow. This is 10/21 on September 27th. Tomorrow, Monday, September 28th, the long talked about Moana refurbishment project at one of Walt Disney World Resort's oldest and most iconic resorts will begin at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort. What that means is that the front desk check-in will be moved from the place where everybody knows you check in on the ground floor of the Great Ceremonial House, and it's going to be moved for some time, to maybe even as long as until next summer, to the Pagu Pagu building, and I'm sure there'll be signs and staff members to show you. I'm sure there'll be a little confusion. The monorail to the Polynesian Resort will not stop at the Polynesian. It will stop stopping there starting on October 4th. So in about a week's time, on October 4th, no more monorail to or from the Polynesian, and that'll go on until further notice. The hours at any of the establishments in the Grand Ceremonial House, so you're talking about Captain Cook's, you're talking about the Kona Cafe, anything in there, obviously, if all this construction is going on, their hours will be affected by construction. So please double check on that. I'm sure things are going to be changing with that quite a bit too. All of this at the Disney's Polynesian Village Resort will be going on until next summer to some degree, so that the resort will be ready, the Polynesian will be ready for its 50th anniversary. And the Polynesian was one of the resorts that opened up with Walt Disney World when they opened in 1971 on October 1st. So when Walt Disney World has its 50th anniversary, so does the Polynesian, so does the Contemporary, and so does Fort Wilderness, because those were the original first three. Excited to see the Polynesian refurbishment starting. It will be great, yes, and it will be theming Moana, which has been a very successful intellectual property for Disney, and sort of fits. So sorry if you're a Lilo and Stitch fan, because that's kind of going away and Moana's coming in. Do you have a favorite restaurant at Animal Kingdom, Mickey's Ears? Yeah, anybody else? You feel free to answer. Me personally, I do. It's Flame Tree Barbecue. Does anybody know if Flame Tree Barbecue is actually open tomorrow? Because I would definitely, if I'm there and it's open, you will definitely see me eating something from there. Epcot's Italy Pavilion has lots of new construction walls. If you have been to Epcot's World Showcase or you watch any of the streams, you'll notice that there's a whole ton of walls in the Italy area, and that's just sort of a mystery. I asked around, I don't know. Does anybody here in the chat know what all that construction is about specifically? Because I don't have any idea. It's an Italian mystery, and I'll let you in on it as soon as I know anything. If anybody in the chat knows, or anybody watching the replay knows, please let me know. We can get the mystery out there. Speaking of that, I'll do one little plug. Coming up on the 30th, which is 9:30, September 30th, which is this coming Wednesday at 7 p.m. I have an interview. I've been doing a series of interviews on Wednesdays. I have an interview with someone who's been making quite a splash in the Disney YouTube community in a different sort of way, and has been really supportive with all of the Disney channels in such a great way. He is my mystery guest, and I can't wait for you to meet this man behind the scenes. Again, my mystery guest, who shall not be named quite yet, will be in an interview this coming Wednesday the 30th at 7 p.m. right here at One Stop Mouse. Disinfinity, no, haven't heard about it, but they better not they better not touch Via Napoli. Yeah, I know. Disinfinity loves Via Napoli so much. He literally, I was doing a stream there recently, and he's like, just go in there and show me the plaza. I want to eat at Tiffin's. Tiffin's is great too. You can't actually say enough about Tiffin's. Tiffin's is awesome. If you go to Tiffin's, they have a it was modeled inside by Joe Rohde, who who basically just came up with Animal Kingdom. Inside, all kinds of special dishes, and they actually have this lounge right next to it that's sort of on the canal, and you can eat there as well in case you can't get a reservation to go in there. That's really cool to hang out in. It's the Nomad Lounge is what it is. Yak and Yeti is very good too. If you go to the Yak and Yeti Mickey's Ears, try the firecracker shrimp. Awesome dish. Was recommended to me by AJ Wolf from Disney Food Blog. She was right. It's sort of like a big appetizer. You can get it at the bar as well. Get yourself like 2 of those and something that's cool to drink. You're set. Disinfinity, I played a video game with Spokesman on his latest stream. Really? Very cool. Chris from Spokesman, hello out there. Chris is quite a character. Anybody who knows him, and I have bumped into him many times. Most notably, the opening of Galaxy's Edge back last August. That was very cool. All right, so moving on with the news. College basketball may be headed to the ESPN Wide World of Sports at Walt Disney World maybe as early as this November 25th. So it's the 27th of September, so that's 2 months from now. That's the first rumor I heard of that. That's not surprising, considering that we just had the NBA here. I guess we'll see. Another item in Walt Disney World news, Disney is extending Premier passports 30 days at a time. Now, if you don't know what a Premier passport is, and a lot of people don't, Yeah, he's definitely one of the favorite streamers. Yeah, I will for sure. Mickey's Ears, yeah, Firecracker Shrimp, Disinfinity. Spokesman is a cool guy. Check out his channel, guys, if you haven't. If you guys don't know what a Premier Passport is, most people know, what a platinum, a gold, a silver, weekday only, all the different sort of annual passes is. But not a lot of people know what a Premier Passport is because they are the costliest ones, but they give you the most. And they basically give you a whole lot of perks and entries to both American Disney parks. So you're talking about Walt Disney World in Orlando on the East Coast and to Disneyland on the West Coast in California. Now, of course, if you have one of these super expensive passes, and yeah, okay, well, Disney's been dealing with opening up Disney World and making amends to pass holders and trying to do the best they can with that. Obviously, if you haven't heard, Disneyland in California still is not open up until now, unless they're just opening it up right this second, and that's possible. It's still not open. So to try to figure out how to do their best by the people who have these dual coast Premier passports, they're basically extending the expiration dates 30 days at a time, because they're trying to make up for lost time that people couldn't basically go to both parks. So 30 days, 30 days, 30 days, please come to Walt Disney World. And then once Disneyland opens, we'll look at the whole picture and then we'll give you a new expiration date for how long those last. So I hope that made some sense. I've always wanted one of those Premier Passports. Actually, that would be cool. Speaking of Disneyland, although this is just Disney World news for the most part, it's still closed, Disneyland. And Disney is saying to the California governor, we are ready and it's time to open Disneyland. And everybody, of course, especially Disney, and the people who are furloughed from Disneyland, but also the town that Disneyland built, Anaheim, California, they're going broke and they're shut down too. So everybody's waiting for the next foot to fall and for them to open Disneyland. And they've done such a great job, Disney, at Walt Disney World, that I'm sure they could just go, well, if you have any doubt, just look at the results of how we've opened Walt Disney World. I think this has been pretty successful. I don't know what the deal is. Not quite sure. Maybe it's that Walt Disney World has an awful lot of clout in Florida, but I don't really know that that's it, because Disney World isn't even going as fast as the Florida governor wants to push, to go to 100% capacity. I think that it's that Florida is so dependent on tourism, and so much of it is built on Disney and the theme parks. And there's some politics involved too with the election and everything. That's the reason that we're going faster than California, whereas California is this big, huge state, and Disneyland is quite a lot smaller and doesn't have quite as much of an impact on the state of California as Disney World does on Florida. We have a weekday pass. Isabel, you have a weekday pass. Cool. My dad has that too. Weekday passes are great. My dad has that because he's retired and lives just north of the park, and under normal circumstances or any circumstances, he wouldn't want to go to the parks on a weekend anyway, and he's been retired and lived down here, so that made sense. And actually, Isabel, I was thinking about doing the same exact thing. It was just a little bit too late to do that. Before they weren't selling annual passes anymore. They basically, when they were trying to figure out how to fix the annual pass situations, and then they stopped selling them for the meantime. Disinfinity, we have a platinum annual pass. Is that what you have, Jones? That's what I used to have, Disinfinity, when I used to live out of state. And there was, wow, what was it? There was one year that I came down here. I think it was I can't remember what year. It was a few years ago, and I was down here for 5 big trips. And one of the cast members looked at me and said, "You know, if you got an annual pass, you could be saving a lot of money." And that's when we got the annual pass. And then that annual pass lasted until about a year ago, something like that. But when those annual passes are up for sale again, I would highly recommend them, especially if you're a Disney fanatic. Okay. On another side note, outside of Disney World, Hong Kong Disneyland, you know, there are parks around the world, reopened in June. It's like June 18th, I think. Then they closed in July because they had a resurgence in cases there. And then they were closed since July until just a few days ago into late September. So keep your fingers crossed for Hong Kong and their situation there. All right, back to Walt Disney World. This just happened a couple of days ago. Cinderella's Royal Table. Supposed to open on the 24th, 27th, so 3 days ago, but they actually opened it up a day early on the 23rd, and they had told everybody, you know, well, we're not going to have princesses, because that's the big thing with Cinderella's Royal Table. They have all the princesses come through, and you get to meet all these princesses in this grand environment in the castle, in Cinderella's castle. So they were basically telling people, well, we're going to open on the 24th. The princesses are going to be on a break. So once we open, there'll be no princesses. Not only did they open up a day early, but they are having one princess come out. And it's not a big prolonged thing, but it's basically Cinderella comes out, the namesake of the castle. And she basically walks around and waves at people and kind of walks through a little bit the way that the Beast does in Be Our Guest, if you've ever been in that restaurant. He comes out once in a while. So that's kind of cool. No selfies or hugs or, you know, no, she doesn't get close. She does like what the Beast does in Be Our Guest. Hollywood and Vine at Hollywood Studios, which is a great restaurant. Love that restaurant. Has also opened, and traditional characters like Mickey and Minnie walking near tables in seasonal attire. Still no autographs or hugs, but it is cool to see Mickey and Minnie, and sometimes some other characters too. Chef Stefran's restaurant in Epcot is opening now. It's set to open on October 8th. So in about a week, Chef Stefran's will open in the France Pavilion in Epcot, and they are taking reservations now. David Belter. Hey, David. Hi, Bob. It's Kim in Utah. Nice to see you. And nice to see you. I just talked to Carrie. Yes, I'm going to be talking to her in a few minutes, too. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. I miss you. I'd really like to go on that sailing trip we were talking about, maybe sometime soon. Thanks for checking in with me. I just saw some really exciting looking new treats that are available at of all places, at the Saratoga Springs Resort. I saw these pictures on Instagram. And I know some people that have tried these things, and I've got to go over to Saratoga Springs and try them out. One of these fall Halloween-y sort of treats is called a caramel cauldron cupcake. So I got to try this. And then the other one, really cool decorations too, a pumpkin spiced whoopie pie. So if you're over at Disney Springs or near Saratoga Springs or in that end of town over on Buena Vista Street or at Uno's Pizza over near Hotel Row over on that side of Disney, go into Saratoga Springs and try out the Caramel Cauldron Cupcake or the Pumpkin Spiced Whoopie Pie. You're welcome. Yes, soon. Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. Disney Springs has a 20% off weekday restaurant discount deal going on Monday through Thursday now, which is September 27th, for the next month, basically through October 29th. 20% off any one of 20 restaurants. I would check the Disney Springs site for details, but that's a lot of restaurants. That's got to be just about most of them, if not all of them. This is really cool too. The Yorkshire Fish and Chip Shop. How many of you out there in the stream love the fish and chips at the Yorkshire Fish and Chip Shop? You know, a little stand right there as you're coming into the UK pavilion from France down off the bridge, right next to Rose and Crown. Great place, right? Well, they've just reopened. I hear that the fish and chips, the recipe, it's changed a little, but people really still like it. So I'm anxious to see and eat that. And also, this is really cool. I got to get this before it sells out. To celebrate the opening of the Yorkshire Fish and Chip Shop, they actually have fish and chips ears, Mickey ears with a newspaper bow, you know, like the newspaper that the fish and chips come in. And they're selling them in mouse gear in Epcot. So check those out. Galaxy's Edge merchandise. You know, when they opened up Galaxy's Edge originally, they basically just said that they're going to be selling Galaxy's Edge merchandise in Galaxy's Edge. Well, that's sort of changed a little bit. It's now not, as a lot of people know, it's available not only in Galaxy's Edge, but you can also get it throughout, well, most of it at least, throughout the rest of Hollywood Studios. Starting tomorrow, on the 28th, you're going to be able to get Galaxy's Edge merchandise online at Shop Disney. And right now, you can get it, Galaxy's Edge merchandise as well at Disney Springs. They've set up a special Star Wars trading post sort of thing for those. Diz ears, those fish and chips are so good. I know, I miss them. I got to go get those. I'm going to do a stream over there again, and I'm specifically going to eat fish and chips. And then, last but not least, on my little news blurb that I'm doing here, is I'm sure that any of you who have annual passes know this already, but if you don't, you can't buy any annual passes right now, any new ones, because they're not for sale. But if you have not been tuned in to all the things that have been happening with Disney and all the current events, which are coming fast and furious every day, they have a special pass holder merchandise discount that's available from now until October 30th for the next month. And it's 30% off a big selection of select merchandise. So if you're a pass holder, I would definitely check that out. So that's basically the news in a nutshell. Do me a favor, if you could, please subscribe to this channel, to One Stop Mouse, and hit the notifications bell to stay informed of all kinds of streams like this, instructional videos, all kinds of things. Sometimes I'll literally just set the camera up and I stand in front of a wall and just go, this just happened. I'll make a video about this soon because it's really late. But please do that and like this video. That really helps out the channel a lot. So just briefly, Isabel, yeep. We got mask and paid $642. We got what? What do you mean, Isabel? Yeep. You got a mask and you paid $6 for 2 masks. Oh, because of the 30% off pass holder discount. Yeah, yeah. I wish. Oh, was trying to get that weekday pass like you have right before they cut it off. So one more time, really quickly, going over the news. Florida, Ron DeSantis in Florida has basically just changed the stage 3 COVID precautions to stage 2, which opens up all bars and restaurants to 100% and doesn't give them any strictures for how they do COVID stuff. And if they want to have a sign to have people to wear masks or social distancing, that's up to them. But you can't institute a fine, you can't do whatever, but you can have your own rules. And the governor is also pushing Disney to go to 100% attendance. We don't know what capacity is exactly. Disney doesn't really throw that stuff out there. A lot of people are saying that it looks like capacity at the park all this week has been a lot more than it has been. So we'll keep our eyes open and look at that. Park hours in Disney for the first week are increased a couple hours. So if you're going to the park between December 1st and 5th, look on the Disney site to check those out. That might help you out. There are 2 Saturdays in October that have extended hours, the 3rd and the 10th. If you want to do the Half Princess Marathon or the Disney World Marathon in 2021, it's now going to be some sort of virtual event, so you might want to start looking at that because your plans have changed. The Grand Floridian Resort, it's open to everyone now, not just DVC members or the NBA, and it's not just villas. It's the entire place. Beginning tomorrow, the Moana refurbishment is going on, and within a week, the monorail will stop going to the Polynesian Resort. If you want to go to Kona Cafe or any other place in the Grand Ceremonial House, you're going to have to check on how hours are affected. And if you're going to be staying there, and the only place you can stay at the Polynesian Resort right now is in any of those DVC villas, not in the regular rooms. You have to check in at the Pagu Pagu building, not at the Grand Ceremonial building. Things are changing a lot there. Premier passports, you're getting extensions 30 days at a time. Good luck to you guys. Disneyland, we're still all waiting with bated breath, as well as Anaheim, California especially. Cinderella's Royal Table, big news. The big restaurant in the castle. It's open now, and it's not princess free. Cinderella is there, and she does walk through. You can't hug her and get all buddy-buddy with her because of social distancing, but she does walk through like the Beast does at Be Our Guest, so that's kind of cool. Some great treats at Saratoga Springs. The fish and chip stand is open at Epcot. Take advantage of the pass holder merch discount until October 30th. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you real soon. Why? Because we like you. Good night, guys.